first thing that I've done is I've replaced the summon undead goblin with a screamer. There are two variants of screamers. There are the fleshy one you see here, and then there are rock screamers. So rock screamers are very physically resistant. They will use defensive abilities like durability, endurance, conservation, and the highest level, which I have here, will use benefactions as well to heal up himself and nearby allies every 120 seconds. The reddish screamer, the fleshy one, it's called a mana screamer, and they are anti-magic units. So what you see here is Aura of Mana Tap, but only the level 12 version has Aura of Mana Tap. Most of them have Mana Drain, 3 different Mana Drain spells, and they'll quickly Mana Drain a bunch of enemy targets. As you get higher level Mana Screamers, they will start using Hypnotize and Demoralize as well as the Mana Drain, so they start to become sort of disablers. They're just overall powerful supporting units. No, neither Screamer does a lot of physical damage, so you can't rely on them to kill enemies. You're supposed to use them in conjunction with your skeletons, or with blades, or with specters, which I have yet to rework, of course. Skeletons have been reworked. Here you can see I'm using skeleton archers as my source of DPS, and the screamers will hold out really well. You just saw benefactions just got used there. Obviously, because of the way the AI works, they're going to use it at not the best times. But now that they've used benefactions, the next time he uses it will be a better time because they'll have taken a lot more damage. Unfortunately, the ogres just managed to get through here and are starting to get at my DPS, which is really bad. I think I pull out of this at some point. Here you can see them using endurance just to buff up the physical resilience of their fellow screamers, but also the skeletons. So, how do you summon each screamer? I've done the same thing that I've done with the skeletons. Every even number spell is a melee skeleton, and every odd numbered spell is an archer, or the other way around. With the screamers is every even leveled spell, so levels 4, every odd numbered spell, level 3, level 5, level 7, that will summon a rock screamer, the tough ones, and every even numbered spell, level 4, 6, 7, 8, etc., will summon a mana one. You can just see the chaos. You can see here a bunch of them have been hypnotized by the mana screamers, and they've also run away. The reason they've run away this far is because they got demoralized as well. And as you can see, the Screamer's damage output is really, really bad. That's why this is taking so long. And just for reference, the Screamers and enemies are roughly the same level. The Skeleton Archers are about 3 to 4 levels under, maybe 5 levels under. But Ogres are a little bit... this particular Ogre is a little bit OP. 90 strength, 80 stamina for a level 22 unit is a bit crazy. But even then, they're holding up pretty well. To be fair, again, when I'm all finished with my mod, enemies will be buffed. Not necessarily in strength. I find that enemies dealing a shit ton of damage is a bit unfair. But stamina is definitely going to be high. Fights last a bit longer, so you have more room to use your ability strategically. And of course, later on you'll have access to specters and blades, but those are quite expensive on the upkeep, so you won't be able to afford as many even here with all of the screamers and skeletons, my mana's basically at 0 now. Okay, so Death has been reworked to be a level 3 plus spell. I made it significantly cheaper, so it's 20 mana versus 60 mana, but given it a cooldown of 15 seconds, so you can't spam it. You can see here that I'm keeping 2 copies of Death on my hotbar. That's, again, because of the cooldown. So you'll find yourself much more frequently cycling between Death and Pain, or Suicide Death, Death and Pain, or just cycling between the various different damage spells. Pain, of course, was one of the first spells I reworked. That's super, super cheap. It's instant. It's a quick fire spell, so 500 millisecond cast speed. It's very versatile. If we fast forward here, I'm going to use Death 1, back up, Death 2. Then I'm going to cycle onto my pain, just going to give it some time for my death to come back online. And I should have death again, there we go. You can of course keep 3 or 4 versions of the spell if you want. But yeah, you see by the end of the fight here, I'm pretty low on mana. And again, per damage, pain is more efficient, mana-wise. Then death is the next more efficient, and then, well, suicide death is actually more, but it costs health, so